Protests that sprung up in Los Angeles over immigration enforcement raids and prompted President Donald Trump to mobilize National Guard troops have begun to spread across the whole of USA now. Activists gathered in New York, Boston, Chicago, Dallas, Atlanta and elsewhere, rebuking the Trump administration's tough stance against migrants and its aggressive roundup efforts. So protests are still going on in Los Angeles and other parts of United States. My colleague Akanksha is with us. Akanksha, tell us more about the recent developments that are taking place at this point.
Right. What you just highlighted is, what we are learning right now, Arun, that these immigration raid protests are spreading across the country, like those that began in Los Angeles over the immigration enforcement raids have now sprung up across the United States, with several, in fact, planned through the entire weekend. To give a sense, the ones that are being springing up are in Seattle, San Francisco. Los Angeles was, in fact, the center. But we are also learning that many will be happening in Dallas, Austin, Boston, Philadelphia, all the way to Washington. So if you look at it, they are, LA and San Francisco happen to be on the West Coast, and that's now going to spread all the way to the East Coast, which is going to be Washington as well. So these protests are now spreading across the entire country from Seattle and Austin. Marchers are, of course, as you can see in the visuals, they have chanting slogans, they are carrying signs against the immigration and customs enforcement. Of course, there's a lot of traffic disturbance throughout the downtown avenues outside federal offices. Some have been peaceful, yes, but let's not forget what we've seen in LA. Many, like the ones in LA, are also resulting in clashes with law enforcement officers who continue to make arrests as we speak. They're also using chemical irritants to disperse the crowds, Arun. And as I said, this is going to be very crucial around the weekend period, because Donald Trump has a planned military parade through Washington. But what stands out right now, Arun, is that the Trump administration is refusing to come to any sort of understanding. These the raids and the deportations are continuing. In fact, it was just yesterday that Kristi Noem, who, as we all know, is the Homeland Security Secretary, took to social media on X. She went on to also announce that ICE will continue to enforce the law. So there is no calming down of ICE when it comes to the protests. But in Boston, I can tell you that police officers have also been injured. They were using chemical irritants. As far as Dallas is concerned, the size of the protests really stood out. It had drawn hundreds to a rally on a city stage. It lasted several hours. Monday in San Francisco, about 200 protesters gathered. And most of the arrests in San Francisco happened on Sunday night. And from Sunday, they carried on Monday, which swelled to almost several thousand demonstrators, and 150 arrests took place in San Francisco. In Seattle, about 50 people had gathered. In New York City, a mass of people fled in Lower Manhattan on Tuesday evening to protest deportations. Chicago also reported a crowd on Tuesday outside immigration court. Santa Ana, near Los Angeles, had armored vehicles blocking the road. You had Boston, hundreds of people gathering in Boston, even Washington, D.C. So that is extremely significant, because if you have these protests now reaching the country's capital, and several unions who are gathering in Washington to protest these raids and rally for various releases, then that certainly spells trouble for the Donald Trump administration, Arun.
That's right. The situation is very sensitive in many parts of the United States. And in fact, Donald Trump has asked for the Marines also. Many thanks, Akanksha, for all the updates.
Network 18 is now the clear leader in digital media. with 55% more users on native platforms and social media than Times Internet. Network 18, the undisputed leader of news networks. Way ahead of the times.